Welcome to another Drawn episode. It's Monday, Easter weekend in the books. Hope you had a good weekend. We had some storms here, but everything's good here in Charlotte. I heard some other people around the country had some tough storms yesterday, so thinking about you. Got some friends up in Chattanooga and Georgia and all that, so hope you all are doing okay. Our friends in Kentucky, thinking about you out there and hoping you're staying safe. Well, we're doing another week of staying at home to stay safe with the virus concerns out there. And you know, the point of this show is, while we're doing that, let's make the most of it. Let's either learn to do something new or pick back up an old hobby, which is what I'm doing, which is drawing. And what better thing to draw than some race cars? Am I right? Well, that's why I'm here. I'm Boris. I work for Joe Gibbs Racing, the NASCAR team. You know, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, Martin Truex Jr., and others. Well, we can't race right now, so why don't we draw race cars? You with me? All right, get your paper and pencil together, or maybe you're going to use an iPad like me or a phone. You know, Instagram, you can draw for free on Instagram, one of the stories. And get ready. I'm using my Apple Pencil. Maybe you're going to use crayons or pens or pencils or markers or colored pencils or whatever you want. But in just a few minutes, we're going to start drawing. Today, we're doing a request. An old school Joe Gibbs Racing car and driver, Tony Stewart. Remember him? You know, I got to thinking, we haven't drawn any orange race cars other than the Bass Pro Shops car, so Tony Stewart drove an orange race car when he raced for us, so why don't we draw his? That's what we're going to do today with our race car. We're also going to draw a racing glove, which is actually what we're going to start with. I snuck this one away from Eric Jones. Don't tell him, okay? This is his DeWalt racing glove, and I don't even think it fits me, but let's see. Well, that's all right. It's a little tight, but we're going to do a racing glove too, okay? This is going to be the easier one, so let's start with that. While you're getting ready, I'm going to make sure we're looking good. Your comments are getting up there. I'm seeing them all, because that's my favorite part about the show is seeing what you're doing. Seeing what you're drawing, seeing what you're commenting. People send in their drawings. I love it. I should put them on the show. Not only for today, we're going to save them up for tomorrow, but make sure you send in your previous drawings on the comments here, and I'll get them up. All right, you're getting your materials together, because I'm about ready to start drawing. Look at all these folks out there. Devin's out there again. Jonathan's watching. Ricky's watching. Susan's watching up in Montana. Whew, Susan, is it cold up there still? It's not too cold. 60s here in North Carolina. That's where I'm watching from. Let's start with a racing glove. Last week, we drew a bunch of things. We drew Mario Kart. Look at that. Mario. Drew him last week. That was a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoyed that one. All right. We also did Kyle Busch's Skittles race car. Another fun one, a colorful one. And then we did something crazy. We did an upside down race car. We looked at all the parts and pieces. So these are some of the cool things we're drawing. If you want previous episodes, check out our YouTube page. That's one cool place to find all those. But right now, I think it's time to draw a racing glove before we get into the race car. We like to do some easier things just to get warmed up, you know? So I'm going to use an old technique that you might have used during Thanksgiving. And I'm going to trace my hand because we're drawing a racing glove. All right? Now my hand's pretty big, so I can barely fit it on this screen, but I think I'm going to be okay. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, there we go. Now you know why drivers wear racing gloves, right? Mainly for fire protection, but also keeping their hands dry so they can grip the wheel easier without getting blisters and whatnot. There you go, just trace your hand. I might need to clip my fingernails. You might be like me needing to clip your fingernails, but there we go. Wow, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Now we're not turning this into a turkey today. We just got done with Easter. We're not turning it into a rabbit either, but there's my hand. You got yours drawn? Look at that. So here we go. There's our racing glove. This particular one that Eric wears, we're going to draw some of these designs, but this is how you make a racing glove. I'm going to shrink my hand a little bit so I can draw some of this area. I guess you'd call it the sleeve or something like that. I don't know what you'd call that, but I'm going to make it come down there. It's like we're getting ready to race, you know? All right. So what do you notice on these gloves? There's a lot of different layers on them. And that's for fire protection and comfort. So what you want to do is you want to draw some of those layers. For example, I'm going to cut the thumb right here. Don't worry, we're not really cutting it off. We're just making a different material, a different stitching for the thumb. And then What else are we going to do? I'm going to make these fingers a little more dark around the edges because there's a different material around the edges that's a little darker. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Looking good, looking good. I'm going to make it darker in there, just making this glove design. You can turn this into a NASCAR glove, or what about a motocross glove? Those are cool. You like motorcycles better than cars? You can do that. Have you ever seen Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s gloves? They have a cool skeleton design up in there. So if you want to practice your anatomy of the hand, you can try that if you want to. But I'm going to stick with something simple like Eric Jones's gloves. I'm going to color them in that DeWalt yellow. There we go. But first I'm going to draw some designs. So he's got a design that comes like this. Look at that design. See that? Doesn't have to be perfect. This is really up to you. We're just loosening up, having fun, drawing whatever shapes we can fit in this glove, making it look cool. Drivers love cool racing gloves. This is what Eric Jones's looks like here. See that design coming up there? Very nice. He's got a little star logo for the people who make them. There we go. Something like that. Then he's got some lines running over here, like that. There's one over here that runs up the pinky finger. All right. The pointer finger has a black shape up there. Very nice. Maybe that's for grip. On the bottom of this glove, you can't really see it, but it's like a rubbery material on there. Really good for grip. It bends really well. Like that. All right, racing glove coming together. Now Eric, the stitching on Eric's is white. You see those white kind of outlines? He actually has used this actual glove in the race car, so it's not as pristine and perfect as it was when he first bought it, but make sure you keep those white outlines in there. Now it's time to get to some coloring, okay? If you don't have colors right now, don't worry about it. I'm just going to do it fairly quickly just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to leave a white outline around the fingers because that's where the stitching is. Somebody's got to sew these gloves together. A lot of talented and skilled people do that. That's their own kind of art form. I'm not much of a what do you call it? A person who sews, huh? But I'd like to learn. It's very cool. All right, I'm going to keep some of these shapes gray. Drawing a racing glove by tracing our hand, just like we would at Thanksgiving with the turkeys, but today we're turning it into a racing glove. Look at there. Next coming up, Tony Stewart's race car. We're just getting warmed up. We're just getting ready to roll. Having fun, loosened up. It's Monday. We had our holiday weekend here. Time to get back into gear. Many of us getting back to work, school, all sorts of stuff. Thank you for joining me today. By the way, I'm Boris, if you didn't know that, if you're just joining us. We're drawing race cars and things related to race cars, like gloves. You don't want to be driving a race car unless you got a glove. Got to be safe, just like we're being in the world today. Staying inside, staying at home, staying safe. All right, look at that. Now you can do whatever color you want, make your own racing gloves. Doesn't matter to me. It's all up to you. This is about what you want. Eric Jones has a star on his racing glove, so we're going to put that on there. Color that part in gray. And we're pretty much done there. How about that? See? You warmed up now? All you had to do was trace your hand on that one and color it in. Now let's get to the race car. What do you say? So, you remember, I don't know if many of you knew, but Tony Stewart used to drive for Joe Gibbs Racing. That's right. He drove an orange car his rookie year and all the way through his career with us. And so we're going to start that right now. But first, you know what we need to do. We need to draw the car, right? We need to give ourselves what? A template. That's what we've done in the past. So I'm going to start on a new piece of paper here while you pull out a new piece of paper for your race car. And I'm going to get a dark color, like black, or a pencil will work, or a blue pen would work. Whatever you have is fine. And we're going to draw a race car. Now, the question is, what angle should we draw this race car? I have Eric Jones's race car here as a model for me. But I don't know what angle we should do. What angle do you think we should do? I'm going to check out some of the comments, see what people are saying out there in the internet world. By the way, if you're just joining us, we've been doing this every weekday at noon Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And now let's get down to business with Tony Stewart's race car. Linda's watching, Amy's watching, Earl's watching. Thanks, Earl. JJ Joe, Thomas, Amanda. Very cool. Yep, I'm using the Procreate app. All right, the angle we are going to do is a side angle. All right, you ready for a side angle? So it's going to be like this. Side angle. All right, so let's do it. Let's start with the bottom. If you've been watching for a while, you might already be ahead of me on this part. Let's see here. Why can't I see my... There we go. It's back. All right, start with the bottom line here. That's going to be the bottom of the race car where it touches the ground. We're on Tony Stewart's Joe Gibbs Racing car from many years ago. All right. Actually, the shapes on this car are a lot like the DeWalt car of Eric Jones. All right, here we go now. You know what we need? We need some lines up like this to tell us where our car is going to start and where it's going to finish. Okay? The nose is going to be on this side. For some reason, I always draw the car with the nose on the left side of the page. I don't know why, but it's up to you, but we're going to go with the left. So the nose is straight up here. I want you to draw the hood now like this. See that? See how it kind of went up and then took an angle? I'm using a different technique here. We're learning new techniques, learning how to draw these things. Before I used a box and I erased away. Now we're not using a box. If you need to use a box, you can use a box. But I'm going to just stick with a line and 2 lines sticking up. Now that line, I want you to continue it all the way to the back. All the way to the back. That hood line is going to be equal to our trunk line. Top of the trunk and the top of the hood are going to be on the same line. See that? Very nice. Car's looking good. I can zoom in a little bit here for you and hopefully you can see it pretty good. I'm looking at your screen over there. Looks like my shoulder's covering it, so I'm going to... There we go. All right. Very nice. Now, about halfway here, I want you to find the halfway point. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just draw a light line where you think halfway of this shape would be 2 perfectly equal sections. Again, I say perfectly, it doesn't have to be perfect, but cut it in half, because that's going to help us know where to put different things. Then I need you to cut those pieces in half as well. Just do a light line for that. Just a light line. Now we have 4 sections. Can you believe that? Look at that. So we're going to call this section A, B, C, and D. Okay? Again, they don't have to be perfect. We're going to erase those lines later, but just so you see what we're doing here. Now, in between section, let's see, right in section B, we're going to start our windshield, right? So we're doing this angle, the windshield is going to start. So right in the middle of B, put a little dot so you see where it is, and then draw an angled line for the windshield like this. There you go. Nice angle. Now in the middle of D, I want you to do the same thing, except make the angle go the other way. So I'm putting a dot right about in the middle of D, and we're doing an angle back the other way. All right. Is it coming together for you? We're doing Tony Stewart's old Joe Gibbs Racing car. We've done all of our current ones for the most part. Not all of them. We'll be doing some more this week. We got a Sport Clips car coming up. We've got, what else do we have coming up? Maybe some racers cars. We did the Skittles car. Lots of cool ones coming up, so stay tuned for that. But right now we're going back in time to the 1990s. That's when Tony Stewart started driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. So we're going back in history. All right, you caught up? Let's put the roof on there. Just connect the 2 lines you already drew, and then you have a roof. See how easy that was? Love it. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Got a little angle there. Let me fix my screen. All right, looking really good. Just like that, the race car's coming together. Now we need wheel wells. Wheel well is the space the wheel fits in. You know where that is, right? It's shaped like an upside down U. You all know how to draw the letter U. Well, we just need to flip it like this. You need to draw it upside down like that, and you need to draw it right about there. See that? Look at that magic. That's iPad magic. I'm just showing you that you need to draw an upside down U where you need to put it in the front. Make sense? I'll draw the rear wheel well along with you while you're working on that front one. See, I put it right in the middle of A and it went into B a little bit. Very helpful to have those lines. That's why I draw those lines, so I can match things up where they need to go. The rear wheel well is going to start right behind where the D box starts. So right about there and right about in the middle of C. And we're going to go up, 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 up. And there you go, an upside down U. It's also kind of like a half circle or an arch. So there you go. All right, next, the windows. Now, if you've watched us before, you know what the different posts of the windows are called, right? The windshield post is the A, the one between them is the B, and the big thick one in the back is the C post. The post means it's basically sticking up vertically, even though they're angled. So, what do we want to do? Well, we want to draw the B post first. It's a line right about there. It's a little bit behind halfway on the roof. See all this space in the front and the space in the back? Well, that's going to create our rear window and our driver's window that he has to climb into. Just about like this. Here's the front window where the driver climbs in. See what we did there? See that shape? We followed the lines of our A post windshield and of our roof, and we met it at the B post. There you go. Letting you catch up. We're showing on all sorts of channels today. We got Twitter, Facebook. I'm seeing what's going on Twitter. A lot of people retweeting. I appreciate that. All the hearts and everything. Very cool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for retweeting and commenting. Very nice. A lot of likes. All right. You caught up there with the window? Let's draw the back window. So the B post, we need to draw a parallel line like the number 11. See, the B post just looks like that. Well, we need to draw that right here. And then make our rear window like this. There you go. We've done some cool drawings in the last few weeks. We did Lightning McQueen. We've, of course, done Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr.'s cars, Bass Pro Shops, FedEx, Craftsman, M&M, Skittles, Interstate Batteries, all these cars. So go check those out on YouTube if you need some lessons in how to draw race cars from the past. Today, it's Tony Stewart's car. Okay, you got your windows in there? Nice. You know what we need now? We need a spoiler. Yeah, got to keep that car on the ground, so a spoiler is easy. It's just a little shoot up like that. See that? Filling it in with black. See how it shoots up? Just a thick little line, little parallelogram as they call them if you're learning your shapes. Look at that. All right. Spoiler. Spoiler alert. Okay. All right. Now, I think we need some wheels, don't you? Circles. Circles can be hard to draw, but I've got some tricks for you to help you draw a circle. So there's our front wheel well. Now I'm going to pick a color. You don't have to draw this color. I'm just picking it so that you can see what I'm doing. Picking a dark orange color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 4 dots, like northeast, south, and west. You know about that on a compass? 4 dots, top, on the right, on the bottom, and on the left. And that's going to help us draw a circle. So if I did a dot up here at the top of the wheel well, right in the middle, see if you imagine the wheel is like this, we're doing a plus sign, that's where we're putting our dots. I wouldn't do the plus sign, I'm just showing where the dots are going. But you can see why I chose those dots locations. Alright, so there's the dot. 4 dots. Got it? Now what you have to do is you just connect them with some arches to make a circle, and it'll help you stay in line. So I'm starting at the bottom. I'm going to make this orange again so you can see what I'm drawing. You can make yours black or whatever color you want. But I'm just going from the bottom orange all the way to the left orange and making a curved line that connects. See that? It's like half a smiley face. In fact, if smiley faces are what you like, you can do the one from the bottom to the right. Make an arch. There you go. Now you've got a smiley face. We all know how to draw that, right? Well, how about the left to the top? Don't forget that one. Look at there, look at there. And how about the top to the right? Very nice. Okay. And after all that, you've got an almost perfect circle. It's good enough for what we need today. See that? It's not so hard to draw a circle. Now, if you want to try freehand, you should do it. That's a great way to do it. Here's my attempt at freehand. Oh man, I almost have to hold my breath. Look at there. That was pretty good too. If you practice a lot like me, you might be able to do a freehand circle. But no pressure. Use the dot method if you need to. I'm going to use the dot method again over here on the back wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just going to connect. Just make sure you connect the dots with curved lines. See? Look at there. There's no point in making it harder than it needs to be. Now you've got a wheel. You got 2 wheels. I have orange wheels. Maybe you have black wheels or blue wheels. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to turn mine black though while you're finishing up, because I want them to be realistic. And most tires and wheels on race cars are dark gray and black. So I'm going to fix that up on mine while you finish yours. I'm going to leave that orange circle up there on mine because maybe I'm going to put the sun in my drawing. I don't know. We're going to make the most of whatever we do up there. Maybe it's a nighttime race and the sun's setting. Got it? Now I'm going to fill in my wheel wells in black. See those areas around that U around the tire? I'm going to fill those in because there's a lot of shadow in there. For the window, we run a net in NASCAR to keep the driver's hands and arms in the car. And the net is just a bunch of crossed lines like this. First they go like that, and then you crisscross them like this. There you go. See that? If you're just joining us, we're drawing Tony Stewart's car. He was the first driver of the number 20. Of course, Eric Jones is now the driver of the DeWalt car and the number 20. So, yeah, we're showing some history here. Are there some old things in history that you like to draw? I love to draw dinosaurs. Maybe we'll draw a dinosaur race car next time. That would be a little crazy, huh? Dinosaur race car? That was always my favorite thing to draw as a kid. I haven't drawn dinosaurs in a long time, so maybe we have to get back into it. But what other things from history do you like to draw? Maybe there's an old friend you had that you like to draw, or an old car, or who knows, maybe a city that you visited one time, or an animal that you saw in a zoo one time. It's fun to draw things from memory and from our history and kind of recount and remember and put them on the paper. Okay, it's coming together. We're getting pretty close to adding some color here. Let's see, we need a rear bumper. Don't forget that rear bumper. It's a little triangle, or not triangle, a little rectangle that sticks out on the back. See that? And I'm actually going to erase my guideline here so that you can see it. That's that bumper. That's so when Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski comes up on the back end of the race car and they try to bump him, the race car can take it. All right. Good job. All right. We're getting pretty close here, aren't we? We can add a little headlight thing in there, just really simple like that. We can't see the whole headlight, so I just did a little half headlight up there. All right. Now let me pull up a picture of this Tony Stewart car so you can see it. Oh yeah, lots of cool pictures out here. This is from his rookie year. Here's a pretty good view of it. A lot of orange in here. All right, I'm going to put it on the camera Look at there. See it? A lot of orange in that car. Orange and white, so that's what we're going to add in there. And the funny thing is that Tony Stewart's sponsor back then, Home Depot, you can buy all of Eric Jones's tools there. The DeWalt tools there. So it's perfect. All in the family. All right, here we go. I'm going to look at that image I just put out so that I remember how it looks while I draw this. All right. Let's draw the number first. I'm going to erase my guideline. Do you remember how to draw numbers? I showed you a trick. Use that square method. So draw a light square in here. Just light square. Wherever you want the number to go. Heck, if you want to get crazy, you can put the number up here or back here, or maybe don't even put a number. It's up to you, but I'm going to stick to reality and I'm going to put a number. So I drew a square and then I cut it in half. The front is going to be the 2 and the back is going to be the 0, and it's going to make number 20. All right? Make sense? So once you get that square done, we'll get rolling. So the 2 has a little hole right at the top here and one at the bottom, so I'm going to make a little mark for my 2. And this is actually how you can start with almost any number. Like that could turn into an 8, right? But it's not. We're going to finish it off and make it a 2. It could also turn into a 9 or a 6 or a 5. But let's show you how it turns into a 2. So on the 2, the connector goes over here to the left on the top. And on the bottom, it goes to the right. See how it's kind of looking like a 2 now? See that? Just that easy. The 0 just has one long hole like this. One long space like that. All right. See how it's almost done already? Well, on these 2's and 0's, we like to curve them. They're not really blocky, so I'm going to curve it a little bit. But just stay within that box, and your numbers are going to look so good. See that? How we're just curving it? Making some curves. Yeah. Now on the 0, just curve the edges. We don't want any sharp edges. We want curved edges. We're drawing some race cars. Got some race car numbers, and it looks almost exactly like Eric Jones's number 20 from today. It's the same design that we ran many years ago on the Tony Stewart car that we're drawing. Good job. All right, now we need some design elements. The design element is like a line or a circle or a shape. It's something that designers use to design these cars. We have designers back at the race shop. Some of my friends named Evan, Kat, Justin. Those are people at Joe Gibbs Racing who do design work. They determine how these cars are going to look. So let's do a good job for them, huh? We're going to draw a line like this from the wheel well to the 20. And it's going to follow all the way up to the C-post. See how I go behind the 20? I don't actually draw on it. Well, that's on purpose. All right. Alrighty. Look at that. There's another one up here that goes from the point of the nose right here up to the wheel well and then up to the hood. Got that? Kind of like a tiger stripe car, all right? Then there's one on the back bumper right here. It's like a triangle, it's an angle. See it? See it back there? Very nice. All right, I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna let you catch up. The final one is down here, and it's kind of an arch. There we go. So we got one here, got one going up like that, one on the door at the bottom, and one on the rear at the bumper. All right, I'm gonna let you catch up there. Gotta get those lines in there because we gotta color in next. We're almost done doing our template, our drawing. All right, a lot of comments out there. Really enjoying seeing you drawing with us. I appreciate it. We're having fun. I hope you are. Wayne wants us to draw the very first car that we ever won with, which was Dale Jarrett's Interstate Batteries car. I like that idea a lot. We'll do that one this week as well. Nick's watching. Ronnie's watching, says it's very cool. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that. Ronnie's waiting on those sponsor decals. We're getting there. Jack says Coach Gibbs' team is his favorite. I appreciate that, Jack. Denise, yep, we're on a Procreate app, and we're having fun. Drawing race cars. All right, next, we're almost ready for color and sponsor logos, but we need a dot in the middle of our tires. That's where the axle connects. If you drew the underside of our race car, you know what an axle is. Check out that episode from last week. I'm adding some lines in here. See these swooshes? They're making it look like the wheel is spinning. We're just doing that. Kind of a little scribbly action. Nothing too particular, but just some scribbly action in there to make it look like the wheels are spinning. See what I did there? All right. You ready for some color? I'm ready for some color. All right. And that color is orange. That was Tony Stewart's trademark color when he first got into NASCAR. He was a rookie for us at Joe Gibbs Racing in the 20 car. Now we have young Eric Jones driving the DeWalt Camry. So let's color in these spaces in orange. So this one up here, remember we don't want to color the number. We want to watch out for the number as much as possible. There we go. Just watch for those spaces you drew. If you don't have crowns or colors right now, that's okay. You can stop where you are. It doesn't matter. You can color later, or you can just do black and white, make your own design. You don't have to color. I'm just showing you what I'm doing to make this old Tony Stewart car that was a Joe Gibbs Racing, very famous car that we used to run. All right, there's one of the spaces. How's it looking on your screen? Looking pretty good? Now I need to finish the nose shape. Put that in orange. If you just joined us, we drew a racing glove at the beginning, which was a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever drawn a racing glove before, but you drew it with me. We did all right. And there you go. That Tony Stewart car is looking good. Now I'm going to grab a gray because this car has something that's called a drop shadow on these shapes. And all that means is that the bottom of these shapes are going to have a gray outline to look like there's a shadow behind it. So boom, bada boom, look at that. This shape on the bottom of it. Even on the number, I'm going to do a shadow. Very nice. See, I'm just outlining the bottom with gray. You could do this with a pencil. That'd be a great way to do it. A great way to do it. All right. Now I'm also going to add some orange here in the number. This is optional for you. If you don't have a thin marker or crayon, I wouldn't recommend this, but I'm going to outline the inside of the 20 with some orange, just to make it look more realistic and make it pop off the screen a little bit. Just a simple outline inside the number. There we go. Classic car from Joe Gibbs Racing history. The second car team that we added. Of course, the 11 was the third, 19 was the fourth, and 18 was the first. Don't want to forget about them. And just like that, Tony Stewart's car from his rookie years coming together very nicely. What do you think? You can also add a fuel port back here. Right about there is where it would have been. Now the sponsor logos for Home Depot were a square. You can do them in white or black. I'm going to choose white. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm just going to draw a square in here like that. And I'm going to pretend that there's words right here. They're not, but our car's going so fast that you can't even read it. So that's what I'm doing there. Just scribbling them in because they're going really fast. Of course, we get all our tools there. DeWalt, Craftsman, Stanley, all sorts of tools picked up. So we're still in the same family with this 20 car, the tool family. Okay, there you go. How about that race car? I'm going to move that one. I'm going to erase my guide letters down here at the bottom. Don't need them anymore. And I'm going to finish with a little scene so we can tell a story. Last week we talked about how drawings can tell a story about people or a moment or a wreck or a win or whatever. I'm just going to draw, since I have a sun up here, I'm going to draw a little sunset story and finish up my drawing. What story are you going to put your car in? Heck, maybe Tony Stewart took the race car out to the beach one day. Maybe you're going to draw a beach scene. That would be pretty funny. I'm drawing a sunset, but not on the beach, just on the racetrack. I've got my track down here. I'm going to make some jagged lines in here to make it look like it's flying by. Look at there. Maybe that's like a cool shadow of a race car down there. Whatever you want it to be. Doesn't really matter. Jagged lines. We'll go a little darker the closer we get to the car so that it kind of looks like a shadow. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. Looks like the sun's setting. I'm going to fill that in orange. Get your orange sun up there. I'm going to put some shading on the sun to look like it's setting. So that means the top's going to be a little bit lighter than the bottom. See that? The yellow shape. A little more yellow in there. Look at that. Beautiful sunset. I'm going to go a little darker. A little redder down here. I'm also going to shade in some of the car just so that kind of pops too. Look at there. I'm just being messy. It doesn't matter if you like messy or clean. That's up to you on your drawings. That's the cool thing about drawings, right? All right, we got the sun out there. Maybe we do, I think we do a yellow sky because a lot of times sunsets are yellow. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a yellow sky back here. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty. Do you know the difference between warm colors and cool colors? Well, my painting here is full of a lot of warm colors because it's a sunset and the sun often has warm colors. Oranges and reds and yellows, those are your warm colors. Cool colors are going to be your blues and your purples and your greens. So I'm doing a very warm feeling coloring right here. It's really up to you. Maybe you wanted to make your sky blue and make it a little cooler. You know, blue is the opposite of orange. It's the complementary color to orange. So if you use blue, it's going to make the orange pop even more. I'm going to put some purple clouds in here. Purple clouds. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of crazy things happen on a sunset. A lot of crazy colors. See, sometimes even the clouds turn purple. So again, you don't have to color like this if you don't want to. I'm just telling my own story. Maybe you wanted to stop at black and white because it's an older photo, so you wanted to keep it black and white to look like a historic photo. That would have been a cool idea. It's really up to you. But I felt like a sunset because sunsets are some of my favorite things, so that's what I chose to do. All right. Looking really good here. Well, make sure that you post a comment with your drawing and what you want to see us draw next, because I'm pretty much done with my Tony Stewart car here. I'm going to put a little hot pink in my clouds. I know I'm going crazy, but I'm telling you what, that's the cool part about drawing is we can pretty much do what we want to do, right? So there we go. There's some pink in my clouds just to make them look like the sun is shining off of them. This is a historic Joe Gibbs Racing car. I think we're at Daytona down in Florida, and the sun is setting, getting ready for the night race in Daytona. I'm looking forward to that later this year when we get back to racing, but that's what I did with my drawing. What'd you do with yours? Make sure you post it and tell me, because I want to see what's going on. Ooh, man, I got some purple and pink swooshes in the wheels. Now I'm really going crazy. Telling you what, you never know what's going to happen on this show. Look at that. That's just some reflections from the sky reflecting off of his car. All right? Okay. You got to know when to stop, right? I think I'm finally done with that one. Well, while you're finishing up, I'm going to read some more comments, and then I'm going to head off and get some lunch. Again, thank you for watching. I'm Boris. We draw race cars every weekday at noon Eastern Time, right here on the channel you're watching, all across the internet. And I think on Thursday we're going to have a special event where we're going to actually be on NASCAR's Facebook page, drawing for all of their fans. So thank you for watching. Again, I'm going to read some more comments. I'm going to do some show and tell later in the week with the pictures you send in. So please send in those photos so I can show off your drawings. Even if you don't think they're great, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to find some really good stuff in them. So don't be shy about posting your drawings. All right. Sandy likes the hat. Thank you. This is my Interstate Batteries iRacing hat. I appreciate it. Let's see. Jim wants me to send this drawing to Tony himself. I might do that. I'm going to send this to Tony. We'll see what he says, all right? I'm going to tweet it out to him. Trisha said she had a really good time and loves Joe Gibbs and Tony Stewart. Thank you, Tricia. I appreciate you watching. Devin's out there. Nick's out there. Nick told his friend Francis to watch. I hope Francis is watching. Did you tune in, Francis? It's really cool if you share this with your friends. Join us tomorrow. Bring your friends. Let's draw together. Let's draw some race cars together from home, okay? Thanks for watching. This is Boris signing out. Have a good one.